lesson. Okay, that's at the beginning of the book. Okay, right after yesterday we did lesson 3 on the science website. Okay, what tools can we use? You should have done that lesson on the ED science website. We're going to look at how do scientists think is our essential question. That's the important question that we're going to learn about in this lesson. Engage your brain. Find the answer in the lesson. When scientists blank, they follow steps and use tools to answer a question. So we have to figure out what this is. Active reading. Look for there's going to be 4 vocabulary terms, and we know when we see a vocabulary term because it is what? That's right, highlighted and in bold print. Let's observe it. Scientists investigate. Well, there's one word, I'm going to underline it so I know where it's at. They plan and do a test to answer a question or solve a problem. They use inquiry skills and science tools to help them. There are many ways to investigate, but many scientists follow a sequence or order of events. Oh boy, sequence. We have talked about this in our reading lesson too. Okay? So sequence, what does sequence mean? That's right after here it says or. That means this is the definition of sequence, order of events, the way things happen. Here's one possible sequence. First, scientists may observe and ask a question. So the first thing they're going to do is observe and ask a question. So they're going to make observations with their 5 senses. Active reading, it says, clue words can help you find the order of things. First is a clue word. Circle this clue word in the paragraph above. Well, look, I already did it. I look for important words as I'm reading. And if I'm allowed to write in the book, now don't do this in, your reading books, but our workbooks, definitely circle and underline important words or words you think will help you figure out an answer, okay? This is very important to do on your cold reads and comprehension tests. All right? Okay, so this scientist says, does food coloring spread faster in cold water or warm water? And this scientist is saying food coloring spreads faster in warm water. So she is coming up with a hypothesis, what she thinks is going to happen. Okay? So on this page, scientists observe and ask a question. So he's asking a question and he's looking at all of the items they have to test. Okay? They have cold water, warm water, and food coloring. This may be a fun experiment for you guys to do at home. It's real simple. You just need food coloring, cold water, and warm water. Okay? Now, scientists can make a hypothesis. A hypothesis is a statement that can be tested. So what's a hypothesis? That's right. It's a statement that can be tested. Then scientists plan a fair test. Okay, so after they observe and ask a question, they make a hypothesis, and then plan a fair test. I'm going to circle this one. The scientists list the materials they will need and the steps they will take to do their test. Okay, so eventually you'll do science projects. They're listing the materials, so they need 2 cups of water. 1 cup is cold, 1 cup is warm, and food coloring. Okay, and then you got to list the steps. So let's test it. Next, The scientists are ready to do their test. They follow their plan and record what they observe. Okay, they follow their plan and record what they observe. So they made a plan by listing steps, okay? So now they're following the steps they made, and they're recording, writing down. Record means to write. Write. Okay. They're writing down their observations, what they are seeing happening. Okay. So clue words, once again, can help you find the order of things. The order of things is sequence, remember? Next is a clue word. So the word next is a clue word. Circle this clue word in the paragraph above. Next. Here's their experiment. Okay, what do you see happening? These children test whether food coloring spreads faster in cold water or warm water. That is what they're testing. After the test, scientists draw conclusions. They use the information they have gathered to decide if their results support the hypothesis. So to draw conclusions, this happens after the test. So after the test, they draw conclusions. They gather information to decide if their results support their hypothesis. So if the results are what happened, okay? What happened? What do you think happened here? The food coloring spread faster in the warm water, okay? So they're coming up with a conclusion and seeing if that conclusion supports their hypothesis. So did it help their hypothesis? What was their hypothesis? Food coloring spread faster in warm water. So were they right? Yes, they were correct. So how does temperature of water affect how fast the food coloring spreads? Draw a conclusion. Well, if the cold water food coloring spreads slow, don't you think the warmer water, the faster it would spread? Okay. Capital T. The warmer the water, the faster it will spread. Period. What else could a scientist test with water and food coloring? Okay. What are some other things they could test with water and food coloring? I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to think about it. Okay, well, there's different colors of food coloring. You could test to see if different colors spread faster than others. So to see if different colors spread faster, faster than others. Okay, that's another thing you can test. Sorry about my crazy S and my crazy looking R. That's an R. So let's check again right here. Scientists do the same test a few times. They need to make sure that they get similar results every time. In this investigation, the food coloring should spread faster in warm water every time. So when you test something, you want to test it a few times over. That way you know you didn't make any mistakes. So on Monday, cold and warm. On Wednesday, here's the cold. It looks the same as Monday, but the warm does not look the same as Monday. And then Friday results look the same as Monday, but not the same as Wednesday. So look at the warm cup for both Monday and Friday. Draw a conclusion, color in the warm cup for Wednesday to show what it should look like. Okay, so what should Wednesday look like after we see Monday and Fridays? Exactly. So Wednesdays should also look like it's colored in, okay? If you want to do the math part, you may, but I'm not going to do this part today, okay? Here's our sum it up. Name the steps from 1 to 4 to tell a way scientists investigate. So what is the first thing they do? Well, I forget. I'm going to go back in the text and to the beginning because I'm looking for the first thing they do. What is the first thing they do? Scientists may observe and ask a question. Well, here it is right there. Number 1. Okay, what is the second thing they do? Now scientists can make a hypothesis. Draw conclusions. Whoops. Nope. Make a hypothesis. There it goes, right there, number 2. Okay, let's go back. So then the third thing they do is right here. Next, scientists are ready to do their test, okay? They follow their plan and record what they observe. So let's see. Do the test and record what happens exactly. Number 3. And then the last thing they do is draw conclusions and communicate. They're communicating, they're talking with other people, they want to share their results and let everyone know what happened. Circle the correct answers. Suppose you make a poster to show the results of your test. You are doing what? Observing, making a hypothesis, planning your test, or communicating. So let's go ahead and look back. Suppose you make a poster. So you made a poster to show the results of your test. So now you're showing the results of what happened of your test, of what happened during your test. Okay? You're no longer observing because you've already done this and this is the end, okay? This is what happens in the end. You're drawing a poster. You want to show off what you did. You're not doing this when at the end of your experiment. You're not planning. You are communicating. You are communicating and sharing the results of what you did. Here's your brain break or your brain check. You're going to circle the word that means what it's talking about, okay? So you use inquiry skills and science tools to learn. You are communicating or investigating. So when you use inquiry skills and science tools to learn, you communicate or you investigate. Which one are you doing? If you forget what these words are, go back and look for those words, okay? And figure out what it means. Then on the back, these steps show a test some children did. Label each box with a step from this lesson. So the children look at an ice cube. They ask, will it melt in the sun? What are they doing? Observe and what? Well, go back to where it says observe and, okay? What does it say? All right, so go back. Find the word observe and write down what it says next to observe. Okay? Then do the same thing for the next 3 spaces. Tear this out when you're done and put it in your folder to turn in the next time you turn in your work. That is it for today.